Hi guys, and welcome to a quick review video of my Xtrons PB78ATTP Android head unit. Been meaning to do this for a while. Hold on, let me just put the ignition on so we're not in total darkness. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but I've had other videos and other things keep cropping up, and this is one that I've been wanting to do. But I've been using the stereo now for about 2 weeks, and I got a comment from a Willis Stevens who pretty much asked if I could do a review or if I could do a review. So here it is. Thanks for watching, Willis. Hopefully you'll watch this one as well. Right, okay, let's put the ignition on because it's quite late. I've just got in from work. Hopefully it won't take too long. It just depends how long I blabber on for. But like I say, I've had this in for about 2 weeks. I don't use the car every day, so there's still things that I'm learning about the stereo. But the first thing I did, the first thing I did before I even bought the stereo was I went onto all the forums, went onto the Facebook posts, because I was looking for an alternative head unit than the stock concert, Audi concert that I had in here. So this is the non-Bose system that I've got, and it pretty much split. Opinions on this stereo head unit are quite split. Some of them say don't touch with a barge pole, cheap Chinese junk, go for a branded Kenwood Pioneer, which I was going to do, and I got a price for 2 separate head units, and I think they're both Kenwoods, but I think one was 430, one was 480 for my local audio guy to supply all the trims, fascias, looms, come and do the job. And then after looking around, I thought to myself, let me give it a punt. Let's buy the cheap one, and if not, then we can sell it, pass it on, and then we'll go for the other one, and then it'll be a lesson learned. But here it is. I've installed it, done the video on that. It wasn't too bad a video. It was okay. But the first thing I did before I even started using the stereo, I downloaded and installed a launcher. Now that particular launcher is called Agama. Let me just see if I can find it. Let's see where it would be hiding. So there it is, Agama, Agama space car. And what you do is you download that off the Play Store. It's a 30-day free trial, and then after that you would have to upgrade it to Pro. And I think it was $1.99 or $1.99 or something to that equivalent, so it wasn't much, so I thought I'll go with it. I tried it for about 2 weeks, and before the trial had even finished, I ended up purchasing the full version, because what happens is every time you switch it on while you're in the trial version, you get a big message comes up every time it powers up, and it says you're in trial version, do you want to upgrade to Pro? And then you can click no, or you can click on yes and go through the payment process. And after 2 weeks it kind of started getting a bit annoying, because it does sometimes slow the system down, because you press the menu button wanting to go to the main menu, but first thing it would go to that trial message. So in the end I just ended up doing it anyway. So if you click on menu, this is what you comes to. So this is the launcher skin. So it tells you the time at the top. Over there we've got the current temperature for where you are, and then it's connected to my phone's hotspot at the moment, so we've got Wi-Fi, and then it shows you how many satellites are locked on to us at the moment. Now this center here, that can change. I'm pretty sure there's the majority of brands, car marquees available, but being a specific for this particular model head unit is specific for the Audi Mark II, where all the fascias and trims and everything looks the same as the OEM. So obviously we've got the Audi badge there, but you can change that. All the lines, the dotted lines that look like stitching around the outsides, that can all be changed. Let's see if we can just actually quickly go through it so you know what I'm talking about. Click on settings. So this is where you would go and you choose all your different car brands, starting in alphabetical order, and then you just click and scroll through it all. But obviously we're just staying with the Audi. Then you've got your theme editor, what is that? Why is that coming to there? That shouldn't be coming to there. Okay, there's a theme editor. I was waiting for it to load up. So here you can choose your colouring. No, that's the brightness, sorry. You choose your colouring on the top slider, and what that changes is the colours of obviously what the colour is matching with at the moment. So we keep it with red because it goes with the red of the car and all the other bits and bobs. And then you've got 3D or 2D, just gives it a bit of depth around the edges. And then you've got the line or stitching, and then you can change the background skins, and you can change the color of the background skins. So there is a bit of customization with it depending on your personal tastes, but I haven't really played about with it. I quite like the look of what this is, so for the time being it can stay on there. And then you've got the moon with an A, which is auto lighting, and then that scrolls through, so you've got auto, manual or full brightness. So I've got it on auto. If you go to settings, scroll down of all the various different subcategories, and then you've got the screen brightness here. So during the day it's on 100% brightness to try and stop the glare from the sun. At night time it's on 15%, and then you can set the times that you want the auto brightness to, from sunrise to sunset, as to when you want it to get dark and light. So depending on when you want that change to happen, you put those details in, and then your measurements, units, all of those, that will come apparent as you're using excuse me, as you're using the head unit. So what you start with is, obviously you've got your radio, your navigation, your music, your phone, internet and apps. They're not short linked to anything, so when you click on it, it will give you the option to pick an app for that to become. So the radio at the moment this is the standard radio that comes with the head unit. I haven't downloaded another radio app to try it. I'm quite happy with this one, so this one can stay for the time being. We'll just turn that radio off, so we'll shut all that off. But you can add other radios to it, so if you just push it, it will start the one that is linked to that. So if I click on Navi, it will open up Waze because I've short set Waze to go into it. But if I wanted Google Apps or any other navigation app that you might have downloaded on your phone, you would either click on Apps, which would then go to all the apps that you've downloaded from the store. So we've got Talk there. I'm going to do another video on Talk because that's quite a handy, nice app. I do like that one. And I've got an ODB Bluetooth plug that's plugged in, so it's talking and linking with that. So we'll do another video on that later on. If we come back, so that would be the apps. But if you back to the radio, so if I push it, it will open up the standard radio. If I push it and then slide it across, let's close that menu. If I just slide it across, it changes this center, so you can add a couple more shortcuts for other radios. But like I say, that's the only radio app that I've got in at the moment. When you push the button on the right, it's effectively the back button, but because we're on the home screen, it hasn't got a further back to go. Same with navigation, so if I push that, it'll open up Waze. If I slide it across, I have other apps in there. So I've got Google Maps, and then I've got Talk Pro. But if I just push it once, it will open up Waze, but it's very bright, so we've got quite a bit of a glare. Glare there. Now while we're on while we're on Waze, my main problem with this head unit was Waze. The volume level of Waze when she talks to give you directions was very low, and if you had the volume turned up to hear her voice, it would make the radio or whatever you're listening to really loud. So that was my only issue, and I couldn't for the life of me find out how to kind of sort it out. And then what I did end up doing in the end is I've set it on a shortcut, but if you go to settings, there's quite a lot of settings here, which obviously you'd go through. You'd have your networks, your connections, your default apps, your display settings, your sound settings, and I thought it was in the sound settings, but there's nothing in there to do with your navigation. So I scrolled through, I went into the main, it says it on car, so you've got driving, navigation and some settings. So you click on that, click on navigation, and then down here you've got navigation sounds. Navigation sound mode is on mixing, and navigation mixing ratio was on 0. So I've upped it to 10. 10's the maximum, and now she's fine. Her volume is adequate for me to be able to hear her, depending on what level I have the radio on. It does mix in, so it does turn the radio down slightly, and her voice is slightly a bit louder, so I can hear her now. So the one issue that I really did have with this stereo has been sorted out, but I didn't see that at first. I was going through the systems, I was going through the factory settings, and you've got an option in the factory settings where you can change the volume level of certain bits. And if I just show it to you, not in the systems actually, where are we? It might have been in, here we go. So factory settings under the car, right at the bottom. I was going through here, and it asks you for a PIN code, and I believe the standard PIN code from default is 126. Now I read that on one of the forums, so I thought I'd give it a try, because possibly it was this what they were talking about, and it was. So put 126 in, and then you go through to, the lighting's not really great in here because it's very dark, so I'm sorry if you can't pick it up. Certain bits you can't read, like the really bright ones. So down here, this would be apply, export, and then you've got exit, but I don't think the camera actually picks it up, but yeah, it picks up the other bit, so it just depends on what colours and what backgrounds. But anyway, I'm digressing here. So I went to voice, and then you have all these. So you've got TV, DVD, iPod, system, AV, radio and Bluetooth. So they're individual mixes that you can do to fine tune, and I kept playing about with these figures, but no matter what I played about with, it didn't seem to make no difference with Waze. Now, this is something for you guys to make note. If you play about with this setting, every time you apply and exit, the system reboots. And once it's rebooted, if you have any radio stations stored, you will lose that, and you'll have to go through resetting and storing and saving all of the radio stations that you like on your presets. So if you're going to play about with this screen, play about with this first before you then start saving presets, because let's turn this down. Everything down here would reset. So at the moment all I've got is Radio 1 and Heart stored. I did store all 6, but because I kept going to and fro with that, and I was getting a bit fed up always having to redo these, so I've only put 2 in. But at the moment I don't think I'm fully finished. I might still fine tune it a bit more, so I mainly listen to Radio 1, or I'll go onto my Amazon Music anyway. That's the main kind of things I listen to. Right, so you've got a back button there, you've got the multifunction screen button there, which shows all the apps that you've got open, pretty much like you would on your Android phone. So we've got Waze, settings, so you can shortcut from one to the other, or you can do it via the buttons. If we clear down the bottom, it goes back to the home screen. Down here I've got my Amazon Music set up. You've got microphone, but I haven't used it yet, so I can't comment on that. And then you've got your phone, which you can either, if you know the number, not many people know numbers these days because they're so long, but if you know the number, you can either dial it that way, or you can go into your contacts in the phone, and then you've got your missed calls and dialed out calls, that you'd have on the phone would link to here, but I've recently cleared mine, so they're not showing. And then you've got your paired Bluetooth devices. So I've got my Carista Bluetooth, which is in the ODB port, which connects with Talk Pro. So that stays in and it connects with that, and it works with that program, and then obviously my phone. And then you've got the Bluetooth, which is the pairing for this onto my phone. So that's your Bluetooth covered. And you've also got the quick button Bluetooth at the top here. So that covers that. We go back. We come back again to the main screen. We've got internet, and we've done the phone. So we've got internet. Let's slide that across, and all we've got at the moment is Google. So that's all it will open, is pretty much your Google internet. So there's your Google. Come back to menu. We got apps. If you slide apps across, I've put some shortcuts in here. So I've got the amplifier in here. Let me just put some music on, or put the radio on at least, so you can hear the differences. Now we go back to the amplifier. You can either go through the shortcut from the open programs already, or you could go to the main menu, and if you've got it preset, I've got it preset under apps, but if you haven't got it preset, then you click on apps, and then you'd go into your list of apps, and then you'd find your amplifier in here, which is under A, so it'd be at the top. So then you come back to here. Over here you've got your customs tab, and you've got your loudness tab. So at the moment, let's find normal. So when you first install the system, you will be on flat, and you'll have loudness off. So this will be the quality you'll get, and it is quite poor. It's very tinny. There's no substance to it.
Everyone's having a go at me, like beef and pasta.
Push your loudness button.
Spaghetti bolognese. Fun fact for you.
And that makes a change.
I hate minced meat. I like mince.
Straight away.
I don't like minced meat.
Hang on, what's the
And then
difference?
you play with the tabs.
There's no difference. I'm just saying I don't like mince meat.
Yeah, but you like mince.
Mincing.
Makes it
mincing,
even
alright,
more.
I'm
So you can
confused.
fine tune these. I find
Yeah,
rock
yeah.
to be too bassy. So I've done a custom where you can see I've just lowered them a little bit more, and I'm quite happy with that. So obviously you could play about with that to your heart's content. And then we've got the fader tab under the amplifier headings, which you can link it to the driver, to the front of the car, to the rear of the car, or the user, which is your preset. Now I've got it set just behind the driver's seat and in the center, so it utilizes all the speakers. But if you slide that from one side to the other, obviously you'll get your fader effects from left to right and from forward to back. But I find all is the best for the speakers that I have in here. Like I say, it's the non-Bose system, so that's what I kind of like. The music sounds the best on when you get it a bit loud. It doesn't sound too distorted, so that's where I have that set. That's pretty much the amplifier sorted out. Right, let's turn the radio off. So you clear all the apps from up there, and it turns everything off. You can, like you can do on your Android phone, if you just, it's a bit difficult sometimes, but if you slide it down, you've got your shortcuts bar at the top, but you're not able to. Oh, there we go, we're coming through. So that was me replying to Willis's message, and then it depends what notifications you get. Oh, it's got the football results here from yesterday. I think Arsenal 2, United 1, and then you got your settings. You got a few other shortcuts up here. You got your connection shortcuts. I don't know what I clicked there by accident. I think I clicked on the YouTube comment. So where are we? Back to apps. Slide that across, and there we got YouTube. So YouTube, I've not actually watched anything through YouTube just yet, but if let's just quickly click on music, see what comes up. I've not actually watched anything through here, so I don't know what the sound is like, whether it actually does or does not. Justin Timberlake, say something. Got some YouTube ads, just click that in 10 seconds, then we can get rid of that and then see what it sounds like. So this is now obviously hotspotted to my phone, so this is using my phone's data. So if you are hotspotting it, make sure you have enough data, otherwise it will end up charging you. Right, just turn this volume up for a bit. This particular song does take some time to get going. Right. So that's YouTube, good old JT doing his thing. Right, if we close that, what else is there for me to show you? I mean, this is just a quick in-depth. Obviously it's all independent to what apps you guys prefer and what you use, but you've got DAB radio, but I haven't got an aerial installed. You've got a DVD player, I don't have one with me. Next time I do another video, I'll pop a DVD in there and see what the quality of that is like. Then I've got IPTV, so I could watch TV through here. I've got my doorbell, my Ring doorbell, so that would come through here. And then I've got a few little other apps that I've got on my phone that I thought I'd give out a try. And then you've also got tyre pressure monitor sensor. Now I don't have the sensors yet, so once I get those sensors I will do a video on that. And I also want to get a reversing camera as well, so again, once I've got that I'll do an independent video of that. But this is what the pressure screen looks like. Obviously it will tell you, I guess it would tell you the temperature if you got the sensor that reads that particular bit of information, and then it will show you the pressure. And from what I understand, you can set it to give you a warning tone if your pressure is below or above a certain pressure range, so it can give you a warning rather than you having to physically come onto this page to see what your tyre pressures are doing. So that will sort that out. At the top here I have enabled it so it tells me what the voltage of my battery is, and then obviously it shows the clock, it shows what it's connected to. So it's connected to my Wi-Fi, it's connected to the ODB reader, which is the Carista Bluetooth, and then obviously it's connected to my phone via Bluetooth, and then that's navigation. We've been pinned as a football there, so that must be the footy results that it pinged to us earlier. And then that's the screen that we're on, and then we got the back button. But if I push the button, the dial on the right, that effectively is also a back button, so that will push you back. And if I push that again, then we'll go into the menu, the main menu. I think pretty much that is it. Now one thing I haven't tried is this microphone, and I've no idea what it's going to do, so let's click it and see what it says. Hey Google, open YouTube. There you go. So you've got your own assistant as well, which is quite neat. Let me see if it will, if I can get it to call home. Call home.
Calling home. Home.
No, it says calling home, but it's not calling home. Okay. Well, the feature is there. I guess I just have to work out how to use it. So that's that. And then music, if I slide that across, Bluetooth. So I can Bluetooth music obviously from my phone, so that would be that one. Let's see what we got on there. I'm not even sure if I've got anything on there. Right, I lost you guys there. I don't know what my phone did, but it stopped recording. Still on the same screen. So what this will now do is if I pick a track from my phone, it will play it from here. I haven't got no tracks selected at the moment, so we can't play that. But if I played a video on my phone, it would play the sound back through here. I don't know whether it would play a video, possibly could do, but the actual sound it would play back. Let's go to menu and swipe that across and go to my Amazon Music, and we'll see what's on. We'll see what I've got there. If we swipe that up, look, Calvin Harris feels, so he would be playing. I don't know if I can play it, all the copyrights and all that malarkey, but I did play the YouTube one. But let's quickly just play that. I just want to try something. So if we go to the steering wheel, which is upside down, if I go on the wheel, now it has done something. I know the sound works. Okay, that's only one track that's on, so that's why it's not picking anything up. Right, so I think the steering wheel button will also work. Let me just go to stations and let's just pick some upbeat pop. Right, so upbeat pop, we're on the wheel, turn the wheel, and the track changes, so you can go back or forward via the wheel, which would be on the left hand side of the steering wheel. Obviously that would be here. It's all locked at the moment, so that works. And then we've got steering wheel volume on the other side of the steering wheel, which also works. So the two dials work. The mode button doesn't do anything, or I haven't got that to do anything. Okay, so the mode button is working. And what it seems to be doing is flicking through certain mode presets. I don't know what they are. So the mode button works, and then we've got the voice button, which goes to Bluetooth your calls. So I guess you could answer and terminate calls from the voice button. So every single button on the steering wheel, the three on both sides, they all seem to be doing something, so they work. I've not done anything extra for those. It's all come pre-installed on the wiring loom, so I've not cut anything or altered anything on the loom. It was how it was on the installation video. That's pretty much it, I think. I'm blabbling on otherwise, but if we click up here quickly, that refreshes and tells you the current temperature. At the moment it's 4 degrees. No wonder my hands are freezing, my fingers are cold. So that's working. And then we got the satellite tab, which is your location, and then just shows a couple of recent apps that you've also recent apps that I've used. So we click on that tab, we'll close everything off. Now the other video that I want to make, so a part 2 of this, will be, there is another launcher that I want to try out to compare the two. Now I do like this one. It's quite easy to navigate once you learn how to use it, but you can, if you swipe that across, obviously all I've got in there is Google, and then I've got 3 more spare slots. If I, for instance, downloaded Firefox or Internet Explorer, you'd click on the plus, and then it tells you here, long click for settings. So you long click, and then open up what button you want to set to that shortcut. Now you can't set any shortcut to any button. Some of them are only specific for the certain tabs. So if it doesn't add it, it's because you can't use it for that particular tab. So this tab is internet, because I did try and save, I can't remember which app it was. I tried to save an app into a different subheading and it wouldn't allow me to, so I ended up putting it in somewhere else. And I kind of think it might have been it was either YouTube. Yeah, it must have been YouTube. I think I tried putting YouTube under music, or I tried putting navigations somewhere else. But anyhow, so if you try that and it doesn't add the shortcut, then it's because it's not for that subheading and you'll have to add it somewhere else. And then we got what we got here. We got plus and minus. So I've got no idea what that is. It says volume, but it's on a different volumes tab to what this one is. So at the moment that tab, when you click on the plus, is max, but over here this is on 2, and then if you go full to the max is 30. So the actual the volume dial goes from 0 to 30. The plus and minus up here at the top just goes to max and to bottom, but I don't know what they're for. So there you go, guys. That's just a quick tutorial of this the head unit. And then, like I say, I'm using Agama car launcher. I find it a lot easier to navigate than the original launcher that came with it. Now let me just quickly try and find that particular launcher so we can see, but I don't know how to use that particular launcher. Let's see, where would it be? Amplifier, Arian, Bluetooth, calendar, Easy Connect, DVD, DVR, file browser, GPS info. Then you've got your gallery, which would I'm guessing that will go. Let's click on it and see what comes up. No images available under albums. Locations, no images. So that must be gallery. If you put an SD card into this, I'm assuming you might be able to view photos that is on your phone's gallery via Bluetooth, but you might have to set it so it can look for it. It says select album, make available offline, and refresh. So there's nothing selected, so might have to download another app to do that. I suppose you could download Google Photos, because that would link to your account. But let's come off of here. So you'd slide that down and come back. I thought there was a launcher here. So you've got your mail, navigation, music, radio. No, it does not seem to be a launch. Possibly I may have deleted it, because I think at some stage it was conflicting when I pushed the menu, especially when I had the trial version of this. Sometimes it would load up the original launcher and then it would launch into this afterwards. So I think I deleted the standard default launcher that comes with this head unit pretty much on the same day that I installed it, and then I installed this one, but I'm blabbering on again. Okay, that's a quick tutorial of the Xtrons head unit, and I must say I've not had any problems with this head unit. It's worked faultlessly from day one. The sound's been great. It's not been cutting out. Occasionally you might push one of the menu buttons. It's more so when you first switch the head unit on. It'll take a couple more seconds to get to this screen than it would normally, but it is quite responsive. You'll push it, you've got your radio, you push your menu pops up, you push your navigation. Navigation loads up a bit longer, but it is responsive and it all works. From what I understand from reading the forums, the people that tend to have problems with these head units are the systems that have the Bose amp installed. I think they seem to get some sort of a conflict with the sound, and you'll get some hissing, some white noise, some background noise. I'm not sure what causes that. Like I say, I can't comment on it because I've got a non-Bose system, and mine seems to work fine. I haven't got a problem, so that's something to bear in mind. I don't know what up-to-date version those people that are having problems have, but at the time that I purchased this one, this was the latest one that they had. I think it was the 4 GB of RAM octa-core. So whether it was a lower model that had the issues, but like I say, I can only comment for my particular system or my setup, and like I say, it's been working fine, so I'm more than happy with this head unit. And I will bring you part 2 of the other launcher once I've installed it and play about with it for a little bit. So that's this video done. Thanks guys, take care.